Hi, hello everybody. So I actually want to point to something. The reason why I'm looking down is because I'm looking at today's news, and one of the news items that sort of caught my eye has to do with the Israeli weapons manufacturing. So, as you know, really probably one of the most important exports that Israel has to do with what we call, security, the security industry. So that's surveillance and weapons. And today, just this morning, um, there was a bit of news in which the Israeli manufacturer of the Arrow missiles. Those are the missiles that Israel is using to intercept, incoming ballistic missiles and so on. The manufacturer has received this mega contract for Arrow missiles. These missiles are going to be then purchased by the Israeli military, but also by Germany, because of the perceived Russian threat and so on. So one of the things that we need to pay attention to and really track is the ways in which weapons manufacturers are reaping the benefits of Israel's genocide in Gaza and also regional wars, right? I mean, also Lebanon and Syria, and what we're seeing also these kind of attacks in Germany and in Yemen. And this is something that if we want to really shift, right, the politics um, around, Israel and around providing this kind of, diplomatic cover for Israel and so on, we actually need to speak to the um, kind of the prominence of weapons manufacturers, right? Weapon manufacturers, Israeli weapon manufacturers who are, then selling, right? The newest developments abroad, but also weapons manufacturers, for example, here in the US. I think um, as we kind of shift our advocacy and activism, we need to focus on those. Like, for example, in the US, the arms manufacturer lobby, which is very, very strong in Massachusetts, um, and really kind of target them, right? As kind of a node to talk about the complicity of, particularly Western governments, such as the US and the EU and the UK, right? Um, in propping up, right? This regime in Israel, right? Local activists here are starting to understand this and sort of starting to shift, right, their particular tactics when it comes to activism. But I think it's something that needs to be foregrounded more, um, internationally, and talk about how Israel is, um, in fact, using its aggression in Lebanon and Syria and its genocide of the Palestinians, also in the West Bank, which has stepped up, in order to test, develop, and then market, right? It's weapons industry, right? This is something that I think broader audience would be able to understand. I don't know a lot of people in the kind of general public who are all for um, you know, um, um, high tech, um, weapons that are meant to kill as many civilians as possible. So this is actually kind of a winnable in the long run. It's kind of a winnable battle that we should pay attention to, right? Weapons manufacturing.
Okay, are you done? We can hear Dr. Noah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, please go on.
Yeah. So I wanted to sort of highlight this today. Especially as I'm again going through the news and I'm seeing that Israel is also stepping up its assault using drones and other similar weapons in the West Bank. This morning, I think it was Tulkarm, but this is something that we've been seeing, in Jenin and in other places.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I do think that we should talk more about the weapons industry and its role in providing cover for Israel, right?
Let me ask you if I say that do you think that this kind of escalation, and if we're talking about weapons, has anything to do with the current situation in Syria? And some, you can say the word is a kind of forgetting or turning his head away from Palestine.
I mean, I think it's all connected in the sense that Israel has been getting a lot of cover, right? I mean, think about Biden, right? They're like, yeah, sure, like they should, no problem. He has no problem with Israel, for example, occupying um, a significant Syrian territory, right? Because it's self-defense. And so, of course, Israel is sort of seeing this as kind of a carte blanche, right? To keep up its assaults regionally, but also on Palestinians in Palestine. So whether it's the West Bank or the Gaza Strip, and we need to pay attention to that, and we need to look at the ways in which these are all these areas are connected to one another.